We are truly into uncharted territory here, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bryce Gelman. Today, as you could tell by the title, going to be previewing Yankees-Dodgers World Series, the matchup that all of us wanted. Whether you like it or not, Mets fans, I don't want to hear it. This is enjoyable. This is exciting for all baseball fans, not just the casuals, but I think the Yankees and Dodgers fans as well. It's been a long time, since 1981. These teams have met a bunch of times. Of course, when the Dodgers were playing in Brooklyn, and I saw this stupid, I'm going to get into that. We're going to discuss everything here today. We're going to discuss the matchups, the keys to success for the Yankees, for the Dodgers as well. We're going to get into all of it. And I said, I let it off by saying this, the fact that this is uncharted territory, the fact that in my adult life, I have never witnessed a team of mine play in a championship series, be within striking distance of winning a championship. I don't even know what to do with myself. I might sweat my ass off because my apartment turned on the heat, whatever. Long story short, I might be sweating my ass off by the time we're done here. But this is exciting for so many reasons. And again, as a Yankees fan, you kind of wanted it to be a team in which you're more confident playing, but at the same time, you're glad that, it's the best competition. That if the Yankees win this, there will be no doubts. There will be no questioning the actual route for them to win this championship, this World Series. There won't be any questioning like there has been up until this point. The fact that the Yankees have had some Mickey Mouse road. They had to play the Guardians. They had to play the Royals. Okay, not great baseball teams. When you win the most games, we saw it with the Celtics. Does that take away from what the Celtics did? We saw what they just did in opening night. We saw how good of a team they are. You think they didn't deserve to win the championship last year because they had an easy road to the finals? Was it slightly unfair? Was I annoyed as a Knicks fan? Absolutely. Doesn't mean I respect them any less. No. So I think you're seeing a very similar situation here with the Yankees. They finally, for the first time in 6 postseason appearances since 2017, I guess 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 22. Yeah, six appearances. They didn't have to play the Astros. And look what happened. And the Astros just have their number. Like we all know it. It's not our faults that the Tigers came in hot as hell and crushed the dreams of the Astros. Not on us. So I'm very confident in the fact that if the Yankees win this, there will be no doubts as to the legitimacy of this World Series. Without further ado, let's get right into it. If you're just joining now, I'm Bryce Gelman. Going to be previewing Yankees and Dodgers, the Fall Classic. So let's get into this. The one thing, I tweeted about this yesterday, the one thing that I'm looking for is the Yankees bullpen to continue being as dominant as they have been. Even with the few blow-ups, even with the Luke Weaver blown save, the big Christmas, the big home run, even the blown save. What's new? It wasn't even a blown save. It was a loss by Clay Holmes. They were tired the game. It was a no-save situation. They thought that, it's not a save situation. Let's throw Clay Holmes out there. He'll do a good job. Any high-leverage situation, I don't want to see Clay Holmes in the game. I'll start with that. I don't want to see Clay Holmes enter the game, whether it's a 1-run lead, whether it's a 2-run lead. I'm fine with the 3-run lead. I mean, deficit or lead. Either way, anything within 2 runs towards the Dodgers, towards the Yankees, Clay Holmes should not sniff the mound. He shouldn't. There are a few guys that I trust in this Yankees bullpen, and it's good to be able to trust a few rather than 1 or 2. We saw it time and time again this postseason with teams who've had a lot of talent with hitting, but their relievers did not come through. And the Yankees have had it both ways. It's the reason why they've gotten here. It's the reason why neither one of their series have reached a game in which, the Yankees, of course, were you potentially get eliminated, or, the first series went to 4, the second series went to 5. The Dodgers went to 5, and they went to 6. So the Yankees have had the fortunate opportunity to test out, you could say, these relievers and see what works and see what doesn't work. Of course, they're trying to win those games, but at the same time, Aaron Boone is feeling out for a potential World Series of like, which guys can I put out when, and I think this is how it has to go. You hope that the 2 starters that you're paying a boatload of money to and Garrett Cole, who's starting game 1, and Carlos Rodon, who's starting game 2, can go out there and give you 5 or 6 solid innings of, listen, in an ideal world, they're not allowing any runs. We know that's probably not going to be the case, but both of them, they're prone to getting hit in one inning. They're extremely resilient, and they don't usually allow multiple blown spots unless you're Carlos Rodon and you get all hyped up, but hopefully he learned his lesson from that Royals series. I digress. You hope you can get 5 or 6 runs from them, or innings from them. 1 to 2 runs at most. And then how it has to go. I really think, depending on matchups, depending on if Ohtani's at the start of the lineup, Tim Hill is going to pitch, and he's going to be a massive, massive factor in the series. How good he was. He had almost a 6 ERA with the White Sox on the worst team in baseball history. He gets dropped. He gets DFA'd. The Yankees pick him up. Matt Blake works his magic, and look at where he is. The lefty specialist out of the bullpen. Where were the Yankees? Like, what would they have done without Tim Hill? Because as it stood after the trade deadline, they didn't really have any lefty relievers. They did an unbelievable job. Props to Cashman for what he did in bringing in the lefty relievers. Hill and Meza. I know we didn't see much of Meza. I think, with the really good lefties in this lineup, you're going to see those guys. You're going to see both of them. You're, of course, going to see Tim Hill. You're going to see a lot of Tim Hill. It remains to be seen, though. Ohtani can hit him well. Who knows? Ohtani's a special player. There's a lot of special players on this Dodgers team. That's why I think this is a massive test for this Yankees bullpen. I don't question them. I don't question how good these guys are. I question whether or not what we saw, the domination, the 2.5 ERA from the bullpen, was more of a product of how good they were or how bad the hitting was from the Guardians and the Royals. Two teams who, when you look at them on paper, do not have a lot of great hitters. Jose Ramirez is the best hitter that they saw. Bobby Witt, the two guys, and both of them were in major slumps. It's not like both of those guys were hitting as well as they were in the regular season. Apparently, the lights were too bright against the Yankees. In the playoffs, they'll learn. Hopefully, Jose will learn. Bobby Witt will learn. He's a young player. He's got plenty more playoff appearances to go in his career. I'm not worried about him. But we saw that. We saw other guys beat the Yankees. We didn't see that the mainstays of the lineup beating the Yankees. With the Dodgers, that's not the case. They could beat you with the main guys, and they could beat you with the end of their, the end of their lineup. Just like the Yankees can do to the Dodgers. So I think it's essential that this is how it goes. You get 6 innings, at least from these starters, at least in games 1 and 2. First off, I think game 1 is extremely important. This is the biggest start of Garrett Cole's life. I think he knows that. He needs to go out. He needs to go out there and he needs to shove. He needs to prove why he was worth all the money that he was paid. The 8 years, or not 8 years, $320 million, or whatever it was. He needs to go out there and show the world why he was paid that much. And we saw what he did in the 2019 World Series, dominant. And albeit spider tack, the second they took that out of the game, Garrett Cole's stuff, is just not the same. He's not as good of a strikeout hitter. He's still a top of the end pitcher in Major League Baseball. I just think he would not have gotten paid as much as he eventually did get paid because of the spider tack. I digress. That's another story for another day. No excuse, though, from Garrett Cole. He needs to go out there. He needs to shut everyone up. He needs to shut the doubters up. He needs to shut the casual fan up who thinks he's not one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. He's got a lot riding on this game. It's a huge legacy game. Garrett Cole is on his way to the Hall of Fame. If he can go out there, stick strong innings, get the win potentially tonight, this will go a long way in preserving his legacy. So I think it's huge Garrett Cole goes out there and shows. Of course. That's not new information, but I think that this is how it's going to have to go for the Yankees bullpen. Matchups aside, because I think that could change and throw a wrench in all of this. If we're getting into who you're going to start and who you're going to put out there after the Yankees have to go to the bullpen, this is my ideal scenario. Jake Cousins, Tommy Kahnle, Luke Weaver. That's it. Those are your 3 guys. Don't have to worry about anyone else. Those 3 guys will win you a game. They should win you most of these games in the series if you use them correctly. What we saw from Jake Cousins, he had the pec strain, goes down September 19th, ends up getting called back up to the active roster for the ALDS. He comes in, the ALCS. I think he pitched in the ALDS, but he was used more in the ALCS. I think Aaron Boone felt a lot more comfortable with him in the ALCS. Also, the fact that he just overextended all of his guys and overused all of those guys. So, Jake Cousins, his stuff is electric. Electric. especially against the lefty hitter. With that changeup, it's more the sinker. It's more the sinker and the slurve / sweeper he throws. That 2-pitch dichotomy between the two of them is unbelievable. It's unhittable. What we saw him do to Guardians hitters in the ALCS, I think, makes him deserve that second setup spot. This first setup. The setup to the setup, which is going to be Tommy Kahnle, who just could not stop throwing changeups. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think he's going to have to mix in a fastball at some point to get some of these guys out, or else they're just going to keep taking. But I think that is going to have to be the lineup for the bullpen. Those three guys, if you pitch them in succession, give you your best chance to win. Okay? So that's huge for the Yankees to set the tone with those guys and to obviously get the kind of production that you are paying these starting pitchers for. Clark Schmidt, fine. He goes 4 or 5 innings, allows 2 runs. That's usually the norm for him. He's not going to get blown up if he, knock on wood. He could get blown up, but he hasn't gotten blown up in the past. He keeps it, relatively low in terms of the amount of runs he gives up. So I honestly am trusting Clark Schmidt to go out there and pitch 2 or 3 on runs. Fine. Okay. Fine. Another key to the series, and I kind of stated it earlier. If you're just joining now, I'm Bryce Gum. I'm gonna reiterate this point: how essential it is to get Game 1, to get home field advantage, because the Yankees, they've got 3 games in a row at Yankee Stadium. I really don't like how it works. It makes sense though. It's also weird because like the NBA will do 1-1-1, and in the finals, the NBA guaranteed is going to be an East versus West team, guaranteed long flight. I get it for this, but in years past, it has not been crazy travel because teams in LA have not made it. Teams in California, it's not like the West Coast teams, whatever. But it's like, all right, I understand it for this series, but overall, it makes 0 sense. I mean, I guess I don't even, I get it. I understand. I just hate it. I don't like it. Like, screw it. Like, if they need an extra travel day, fine. So be it. I think it makes more sense to be 1-1-1 at the end of the series instead of 2-3-2, whatever. I digress. But the Yankees are going to have 3 straight games at Yankee Stadium. They are going to have to contain these star hitters at the top of the Dodgers lineup. And you want to know what the guy who's batting 1 for the Dodgers is currently hitting in his career at Yankee Stadium? Hear me out. This is unbelievable. It truly is. I thought this. I've been to a couple of games. I've been to one game that Ohtani played it, and he was terrible. Awful. 3 strikeouts. Maybe had 4. Ohtani at Yankee Stadium. .136 average, 4 home runs, 17 strikeouts, a 239 on base percentage. 239 on base percentage. And you want to know what he's hitting at home against the Yankees? Completely different player. Night and day. He has slashes of 344, 475, and a 938 slugging percentage with a 1.413 OPS, with 11 hits, 5 home runs, a triple, and 9 walks. He's a completely different player. That is also why it's so important for Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon to have a good start. You need to give yourself a chance to win one of these 2 games. I think Game 1 is the most important game. I really think that this is the most important game in the series. Even if we get a 7th game, it puts the Yankees in an ideal spot to win. I want to know what the Yankees do extremely well that other teams in Major League Baseball don't always do. And we get a little message here from my friend Noah, my friend Boa. Wait, do you ever... I'm not pausing it. We're live. I'm not going to pause it, but I'm going to say what's good. Of course, let's go Yanks. It's just so essential for this team to get Game 1 or Game 2 at Dodger Stadium. But the Yankees are a really good road team. I have hope that the Yankees will be able to win 1 or 2 games at Dodger Stadium in this series. Now, Shohei Ohtani is going to have to shake whatever he has going on in his head at Yankee Stadium. If the Dodgers want a chance, listen, they have a chance to win this series based off everyone else. Noah, you missed it. Yes, okay. Well, who's your X Factor reliever for this series? And by the way, if you're on X, leave a comment down below. I'll pop it up here, answer your questions all stream long. I'll probably stream for another 20 minutes. X Factor reliever in this series. I think it's Tim Hill. I think with all the really good relievers, or with all the really good lefty hitters that the Dodgers have, Tim Hill's going to have to be electric. He cannot miss. He's going to have to come in and give the Yankees some really good outings. He might pitch every game in the series when you think about it. Unless the Yankees are down big or up big, any close game in the series, Tim Hill will see them out. He will face Ohtani in every game in the series. Tim Hill, 100%. It's Tim Hill and Jake Cousins. Those two. The two of them combined. The biggest X factor relievers in the series for the Yankees. But now let's go over the Yankees offense. We talked a lot about the bullpen of the Dodgers, but we got to talk about the Yankees offense. We got to talk about Giancarlo Stanton. We got to talk about Aaron Judge. If Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge in the series, and I really have. I mean, listen, I think 6 days off could present a problem for these guys. I think that's just too much, and there's nothing you could do about it. The Yankees clinched the series earlier than they could have clinched if they lost a couple of those games. All right, it is what it is. So Juan Soto hit one of the biggest home runs in Yankee history, one of the best at bats that I've ever seen in my entire life. Whatever, so be it. You live and you learn. You deal with the punches that you're given. So the Yankees 6 days off. I'm kind of concerned. I am. I have to level with you all here. I'm kind of concerned with Giancarlo Stanton. I think as he's an LA guy, LA born and bred. He hits extremely well at Dodger Stadium. He has hit some mammoth shots, some moon shots at Dodger Stadium. He's hit a couple of them out of the stadium. This guy should rake. I honestly, I have more trust in him than I do anyone else. And Soto. Soto is going to show up in the biggest moments. We saw it in 2019 when he was a young 19 years old, or probably 20 at that point. Yeah, 20 because happy birthday Juan Soto, by the way. Happy birthday Juan Soto. Turns 26. So yeah, I guess maybe 21. That's 21. Whatever. You get my point. A young kid, very early on in his career, went deep off Justin Verlander. Just bitch slap Justin Verlander in the World Series. We know what to expect from him. I think it's going to come down to whether Aaron Judge hits and whether the bottom of the lineup hits. Gleyber Torres has had an outstanding postseason. He's been really good since the Yankees brought him up to the leadoff spot. And you want to know why? It's because he's not forcing it. And also because he has two of the four best hitters in Major League Baseball succeeding him in the lineup. So he's got the comfortability to be able to just, okay, well, they're going to give me pitches to hit. Also, he's not trying to do too much. He's not trying to hit the ball out of the stadium every single time he's at bat. He's been able to get on base at an extremely high clip because he's looking for pitches to drive out to right field just to get base hits. Get on base for your big hitters. That's all you need from Gleyber Torres. He's been really good. Rizzo, he's had 6 days now for his first fractured fingers to heal. Maybe he can hit for some power. He's been a really efficient hitter, and maybe he shouldn't change up his approach to the plate, which is much like Gleyber Torres, get like the dink and dunk hits out to left and right field, not trying to do too much because there are other guys in the lineup who could provide power that aren't Anthony Rizzo. That's kind of why I think they should bring Rizzo up to the cleanup spot and then put Stanton at 4 or 5, but Stanton's hitting too well, so Stanton should be the cleanup hitter. No matter what the matchups are, Stanton should be hitting 4 because you should be up as much as possible with almost, it's not a guarantee, but there's a very high likelihood that either Gleyber, Soto, or Judge gets on base, then you get Stanton up with someone up, almost guaranteed to start the game. And then anything can happen at that point. So I think we talked about the X factors with the bullpen for the Yankees. The X factors for me, when it comes to hitters for the Yankees, Aaron Judge. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. There should be no doubt in your minds as well that he should be up there in terms of X factors, in terms of guys who could swing this series. If Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge in this series, if he rises to the occasion, not only is that unbelievably huge for his legacy, for his own personal, individual legacy, but his Yankees legacy as well. If that happens, man, I mean, I can't see the captain being the only guy on the team who hits. I think he will lead by example. If he gets going, man, I think everyone else is going to follow, and I think the Yankees have a really good chance in this series. So I think I'm going to go Judge, and if I had to pick someone else, Volpe. These guys, and I'm not going to say just Volpe. I'm going to say everyone in the lineup whose job it is just to get base hits. These guys cannot do what they did in the regular season, which is try to hit home runs. What did we see? What did we see this Yankees team do? They hit 13 home runs in this postseason thus far. How many games? What is that? 9? Pretty good, pretty solid. That's pretty solid. Their biggest hits were home runs. Okay, fine. But they still were able to get a run here and there. They were still able to not completely shoot themselves in the leg with the atrocious base running, which we saw a lot of. But we didn't see that come back to bite them in the ass. You want to know why? Because they were able to hit with runners in scoring position. Not early on in the series. Against the Royals, they were atrocious. Against the Guardians early on in the season, did not do it. But they picked it up. And it's because guys like Volpe, guys like Rizzo, were able to just get on base. Throw your hands out there, send it to left field, send it to right field, get cheap hits, get on base. That's all that matters. That's all you have to do. That is where I think the Yankees can win this series. It's to go against what they've been doing for the longest time ever. Their approach to hitting, as we all know, as Yankee fans, has been unbelievably flawed over the years. It has been, time and time again, why they have fallen short of expectations. And what did they do? What did they do in this postseason? The guys who have power, Volpe's got power. He's got some pop. But the guys who do better, who are better hitters when they're using every quadrant of the field, have done that. And guess what? It has worked. It has worked. Against the Dodgers team that has an incredible bullpen, a really, really good bullpen. Multiple guys who have only allowed some of them who haven't even allowed a run in this postseason. Evan Phillips, 0 runs in 6.2 innings. Michael Kopech, 1 earned run in 5.1 innings. Blake Treinen, who has seen like a resurgence at the end of his career here, 1 earned run in 8 innings pitched as the closer for the Dodgers. The Yankees are going to face the best pitching that they have seen all series. I take that back. The Guardians have really good pitching. But starting pitching and relief pitching combined, they are going to see the best pitching they faced this playoffs. The pitching for the Yankees, I think, is above all else, is going to be the most important thing. Because they have not faced talent like this. Guys 1 through 9. You know what to expect from those top 3. The best top 3 in all of baseball, I think. I don't think they have the best 2. I think Judge and Soto are better than Betts and Ohtani. But I think as a collective 3, as a trio, the Dodgers have it better than most teams we've seen in baseball history. So the Yankees pitching is going to have to be top notch, specifically on the road. I want to see Nestor Cortez eat up some innings. I know he said that, there's a chance that I'm out for a year. You don't want him to get blown up 4 or 5 runs. Yankees lose the World Series, and then he's out a year. That would be a disaster. You have to make sure that he is ready to go, that he is pitching near 100%. If he's forcing it, if he's at 80, 90%, he is going to blow his arm out. And then you're going to lose Nestor Cortez for next year. You have to start thinking about next year. Don't guarantee you win this World Series. But now with all that being said, and, we could have got into the Dodgers bullpen a little bit more. I think you're going to see them a lot. I don't foresee that this Dodgers starting rotation going long innings if the Yankees are able to stay within themselves and do what they have done that has worked out so well for them thus far in the series. Not swinging every first pitch, waiting for your pitch, fouling pitches off, working the count. The Yankees have had the most success they've had in the postseason in recent memory because of that. Also because they didn't have to face the Astros. Another aside. You know it. You know it's true. So let's get into it. Predictions. My objective, unbiased opinions for the first World Series in 15 years for my team. I think the Dodgers are the better team. I do. I think they've got more star power. I think Ohtani versus him and Judge has proven that he is more ready and willing to rise to the occasion. They also have home field advantage. I don't know. It pains me to say this. It pains me to do this. I think the Dodgers win this series in 7. I do. And I don't want it to happen. I think the Yankees need this World Series more. I think their fans are going to show out. Hopefully it's not some corporate bonanza at Yankee Stadium with how expensive the ticket prices are, which are a joke, by the way. Hopefully we like the Yankees, there will be some diehard Yankee fans who show up and show out to Yankee Stadium, and they bring the energy, just like they did back in the day. In the late 90s, early 2000s. Different stadium, different vibes. I don't know. I think the Dodgers win the series in 7. I do. And again, it pains me to say that, but I'm just going with my objective opinion here. And the Dodgers are favored to win this series. This series will come down to one thing. The star power is there. We know some guys are going to produce from both teams. It's about which bullpen doesn't implode the quickest. Which bullpen is able to outlast the long, grueling series that this will be. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's literally up to the bullpens in this series. That's why I highlighted it so much on this live stream. It's like, where are you going to win this series? It's not going to be, listen, you can have a really good offensive night. The Dodgers have been unbelievably good. They've scored 5 more runs in 8 of the 11 postseason games they've had, which is unbelievable. And this is an extremely tough test for the Yankees bullpen. They've got the arms. They've got the depth. This has been their calling card over the past few years. We just haven't seen it in full force because the Yankees haven't had a chance to show their strengths in the bullpen. Because they haven't gotten to the point of being able to show them. Because they haven't hit. Giancarlo is going to need to stay hot. Judge needs to show up. I don't think I'm not going to declare Aaron Judge fully back. Yes, his OPS is back near 800, and this is the best postseason he's had since 2018, which is really good. Aaron Judge still needs to be Aaron Judge. This is the biggest stage of it all. Like, this is such a massive stage. And I want the Yankees to win this. I don't want to have to suffer a 7th game World Series defeat, but that's just what I'm feeling. That's just where my mind is going right now. Objective analysis. No bias involved. Dodgers in 7. I hope Yankees in 6 or 7. I don't see either one of these teams winning this series in 5. If there is going to be a team to win this in 5, it's going to be the Dodgers, not the Yankees. Just my opinion. But we'll see. The Yankees set the tone tonight. Get the win tonight. That will change everything. It will change everything. Because of how bad we've seen Shohei Ohtani at Yankee Stadium. Terrible. Awful. You know what? If you missed it, I'm gonna read out these stats again. 136 average, 4 home runs, 17 strikeouts, a 239 on base percentage for Shohei Ohtani in his career at Yankee Stadium. You want to know what his stats are? You want to know what his OPS is as a whole against the Yankees with those stats involved? 900, 0.899 OPS against the Yankees. Yeah, he hits very well at home against the Yankees. Put him at Yankee Stadium. The lights are too bright. Get a game at Dodger Stadium, win 2 or 3, win all 3 at Yankee Stadium, and end the series. Man, I'm excited. I'm nervous. I feel all the feels. I'm sure you all do too. It has been a long time coming, 15 years. Let's just enjoy the ride. Let's enjoy the ride. I'm going to try not to be as negative as I have been in the past, as I've been known to be. There's no negativity in this prediction. As I said, this is an objective analysis. This is everything considered. That's what I think. If you don't like it, get lost. I don't really care. I don't know what to tell you. If you're a Yankee fan expecting me as a Yankee fan to just pick my team blindly, Dodgers are the best team in baseball. They've got the highest payroll. They should have the highest payroll, if not for the deferrals. They've done the most in terms of spending, in terms of getting star power, and that has led them to this point. And even with all the pitching injuries they've suffered, they are still in position to win the World Series. So get game 1, get game 2, whatever. Let's go Yankees. Let's just pray. Let's pray that they can get this done. Again, I really don't have to go through a World Series defeat. I don't know if I could take that. I can't take more pain and suffering and misery from this team. So let's go Yankees. Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for joining me today. Going to be doing some more stuff as this series progresses, so stay tuned for that. But until next week, let's go Yankees. I'm Bryce Gellman.